Hey, welcome to I Drink and I Know Things number 7. Where in the world is Brexit? That's right, Theresa May is delaying the shit again. How many times is this going to happen, Batman? How about you, Jensen? 3 words for you guys.
One
Party revolution.
I agree. And in answer to your question, they are going to do their absolute level fucking best to try and stop this happening.
The thing is, sorry, go ahead, Jensen. I'm putting on you.
All right, sorry, mate. All I can say is the riots are coming. The riots are coming. Yeah,
Okay,
that's right. I deliberately said that.
Can I ask a question about this?
No. Okay. It's a touchy subject.
Go ahead, MC.
Go on.
The question I have is because I'll be honest with you, I'm totally freaking confused about what's going on. There was a vote that was supposed to take place today that she delayed.
Yes.
Yep.
What is the vote today supposed to be?
About the same thing it's been the last time, 2 times. About a stupid bill that nobody wants.
They're punting it out a month, but to do the vote, they would have to acknowledge that they would sign Theresa May's deal.
But they haven't agreed that they're going to sign Theresa May's deal. So how can they?
No, MC, they've agreed that they won't sign Theresa May's deal.
Well, yeah, okay, I would agree with that. So I don't understand what's going on.
She's still trying to push her deal.
They're pulling procedure after procedure to try to do stuff and things.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, isn't the procedure that they were out no matter what by tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, that was a referendum.
The thing is, the majority of the UK want to leave the EU. Even more now want to leave the EU than did before the referendum.
Yep.
The politicians don't want to leave the EU. You know why? Because they're only looking after their own self-interests. They get a sweet deal off the EU. They get like backhanders and shit. Yeah, while the rest of us, we get something back, back something, but it's not a hander.
Well, it's also easier to, if anything goes wrong, you could always kind of blame the EU.
I think they should bring back an old practice when it comes to the leaders of nations. Yeah, if you within the first couple of years, if you haven't done a good job, you get taken out, dragged out of your office and shot.
I'm good with this.
That doesn't sound like due process, and seeing as we were kind of, at least some folks here, promoting potential riots and shit, here's the thing. The 29th has not come yet. According to the
promoting riots. He said if things continue the way they are, he's predicting it will lead to riots.
I did not hear that, MC. I'm sorry. I'm more of a pessimist. All I'm saying is...
Memes. It's not the 29th anymore. They've been given, I think it's a 2-week extension.
Did they vote on that?
I saw that, but at the same time, my question still remains, okay, you only get that delay if you've agreed to it, but it doesn't, but I thought the parliament had to agree to it, and they haven't agreed to anything.
That's a parliamentary procedure. That's the thing. The referendum is law. I thought.
And if they don't agree to that delay, it means that it will delay Brexit even more.
No, I thought they had to agree to Theresa May's deal.
Isn't it great how technical and confusing it is?
Yeah. The thing is,
I'm lost on this because my understanding, as I was reading the reports, all right now, and granted, I'm trying to understand obviously things that were written in French and written in all sorts of who knows what kind of fructacta languages they were, right, and then translated into English, but it's obviously not translated into American because I read it and still come back going, what the hell is this?
It doesn't get translated into English.
All right, I'm looking at this, and Macron said basically flat out, he said, we'll think about a delay, but only if you agree to the deal. Did that change?
I thought he said waffle, 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 cheese, frogs, legs, waffle, 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 I'm French, waffle, waffle, waffle. Yeah, do me with your man meat.
I saw your stream earlier, MC. Do you think Macron is licking the toad?
No.
It would explain some things now, wouldn't it?
No, Dodge, no. Macron is not licking the toad. It's the other way around.
I like frogs.
Or toad.
Yep. It's the toad is licking Macron and grimacing each time.
I just don't understand how what you've done or what's going to be done with this, because as far as I can tell, there's not going to be a vote, right?
Well, I don't think so. Well, I think we do have a definite date for Brexit.
Yeah, March
Yeah.
March 29th, right?
No, the 12th. No, the 12th of never.
The 12th of never.
Well, you guys go ahead for a second. I gotta grab the 2-year-old some milk and lay him down. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, mate. No worries.
Yeah. And there's people going, oh, if we don't get Brexit, we want to go on a political strike and not vote anymore. Like, that's going to matter.
I know, it's cute, isn't it?
Well, somebody's going to go on a political strike and not vote?
Yeah, like if there's a general election, well, I will just not vote because like, that's going to matter. Like, if we don't get out of the EU, we're not in a democracy. So voting or not voting doesn't matter.
No.
Well, that's unfortunately that's true. If you have another, if they try to pull another referendum, it's you're no longer a democracy. You're not.
Nope. Apparently, they're on about another referendum, but it's not on about staying in or going out. It's on about deal or no deal.
That's immaterial.
That's their job. We told them what we want. Now it's their job to give it to us.
They won't, but there's the EU has no intention of giving it to you because they have no desire to give it to you.
The EU
you can sit up there and demand that the EU give you a deal, but they're not going to. They don't have to.
The EU is terrified of the UK leaving Europe because we're apparently, from what I've read and what I've seen on videos and stuff and seen in the newspapers, we're a powerhouse industry.
Yes.
Not economy, rather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without us, they are dead in the water.
Yes, they are.
And the biggest thing I hate about the EU is it's not set up for every country in Europe. It's there to service Germany and France.
Well, okay, but I mean, that's all sounds all well and good, but the reality is you guys don't have to listen to that. I don't understand what I do not understand.
I don't understand why we have to pay them any fucking money. I mean,
I wouldn't give them a freaking red cent. I mean,
they'll turn around and say, oh, this is to cover the cost of money we will lose when you leave. And, oh well, fair enough. We'll not pay, and that'll cover the cost of the money we give you when we joined.
Weren't there prior obligations though, like 40 billion-ish pounds, something like that?
I think they pulled that figure out their arse.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it was actually a 1.80 million.
Yeah, I've heard higher numbers than the 40.
I would tell them to go pound sand.
Actually, I would send the person who's in charge of the EU, the actual person. I would send them a check from the British government if I was in charge, right? Yeah, we're leaving. We'll do a no deal, but we will pay you. Send them a check for 1 pence. Or even just an envelope with a penny in it.
I've never understood why, what the stress is on the British population, because it's like, okay, so the EU is demanding X, the EU is demanding Y. Well, that doesn't mean, hey, you guys have to follow it. That's the whole point of being your own freaking sovereign country.
Yeah,
you get to tell other countries, says you got to do this to go pound sand.
That's the problem. Well, if you're in the EU and the European government says you've got to do X, you've got to do Y, then you've got to do X, you've got to do Y because you've signed away your fucking rights.
Oh, well, right. If you're a sovereign nation, then like MC was saying, it's like you can negotiate. If you're going to do a hardline negotiate, it's like, oh, we want 180 billion pounds. No, you get nothing. Good day, sir. And then you can negotiate.
You have hit on a point where the Ramonas are actually right. Out of all the nations in Europe, apart from Germany and France, we did have the best deal because we're the only member of the EU that doesn't use the euro as our official currency, and there are a few of the EU regulations which don't apply to the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Because the negotiation was done by Thatcher.
Wow.
That's all well and good, but once again, I mean,
That was someone we saw politicians.
why is everybody freaking out over what's happened? I'm sorry, I don't get it anymore.
I'm not freaking out.
I thought I was starting to get the feel for the understanding how your guys' government works, and I realized after watching this latest thing, there's just no way. I have no idea how this is working.
Oh,
I'm going to do something.
We have a joke.
I'm going to do something a bit weird now. This may confuse a lot of people.
You keep your pants on.
I'm already naked. Shut up. No, seriously, I'm actually going to defend the government. You ready? The problem isn't the government. The problem is the Muppets that are actually in the government. The basic idea actually wasn't bad. If we got rid of the pillocks that are actually sitting around there scratching their pick your own body part of choice, if we get rid of them and get in a whole new bunch, we've actually got a halfway decent concept for a government. It's just, like I said, the Muppets in there need to be removed.
Yep.
Okay, so why doesn't the Queen come back and say the Muppets need to go? And call for a new and dissolve Parliament and call for a new election.
No, they just brought back the Muppet Show.
Well, that's basically because Parliament has more power than the Queen. If the Queen uses any of the powers that are remaining in the Crown, the next Parliament will just vote them away.
That part is true, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, MC, I know I'm doing a bit of a memes here, but I think what MC is saying is that the Queen should do this, get rid of both teams, just fuck them all off, and then turn around to the next lot when they actually form the government and go, it's all yours, guys. I was just getting rid of them.
No, I think the Queen should actually take control of the country, form a new government with herself as head, and declare war on the EU.
I mean,
come on, we'd win. We would win because they'd be too busy arguing amongst themselves.
Are you kidding? You could win just by sitting there going, you just tell Putin, what part do you want?
No, don't even have to, we don't even have to involve the Russians.
Oh, no, but it'd be much better. It'd be much cleaner. You wouldn't even have to mobilize.
If the United Kingdom declared war on the EU, how many countries in the EU would go traitor on the EU?
Poland,
Germany and France, obviously.
If you leave the Russians off the table, Poland would probably join the British.
And Hungary.
Yeah.
And the Czech.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
And Italy.
Yeah.
Maybe not Spain because
Italy it's like backdooring everybody right now. Didn't Italy go out there and make another deal with the EU recently?
Oh dear.
Italy did something else that was just everyone's looking at them going, "What the hell is this?"
Well, was Berlusconi after some more? Was Berlusconi after some more tail? Was he?
I don't know what the hell he was doing. I was just like, okay, I'm beginning to realize I have no conception of how this shit works. And as far as Americans, I'm like, I'm glad I'm an American. We have our problems, but my God,
MC, it doesn't work. That's the problem.
How can you guys stand it?
Why do you think
you guys are going to have to take back your country?
Yeah.
The problem is the moment we get anyone that actually is willing to stand up and say anything, cough, cough, Tommy Robinson, they immediately get stamped down as hard as humanly possible. I ought to point out, cough, cough, Dankula. He would have been another good leader type, but oh, look, and I'm assuming you've heard how they actually got their 800 quid out of him.
Yeah, they just basically just called the bank and seized it.
They EFT ninja'd it from his bank account.
And the bank didn't even bother telling him.
No. Just out of interest, can your country do that?
They have to announce that they're levying your account.
There's due process.
I strongly suspect that if they wanted to, they could.
Well, if you owe student loan debt, they just give you a letter instead of your tax return. I mean, they don't necessarily inform you until after they took it.
Well, no, that's a tax return. That's not going into your bank and seizing it. If they're going to seize, if they're going to seize that, they have to come in with a form that's telling you they're seizing this under this these rules. They can't.
When our little MP, it's going back when my dad was mentally active when he was alive as well. But he was a friend of my dad's, and he told me, Dad, that the British government, like every other government, has laws on its books which the public don't know about, so they can do sly, shady, underhanded things, and it's still legal.
That's true.
Doesn't surprise me.
There are rules. There are certain bank rules that are in place that they can seize certain things. All right, but while those rules exist in the United States, and they do, all right, they have to announce it, which there are certain other reporting rules that are also
unless, of course, there are special extenuating circumstances which will be vague and nebulous.
Well, it's actually very simple. If you read the terms of service on Google, YouTube, or anything, you'll always see in the terms of service, we follow all federal and state laws and regulations. That's all you need to have right there.
Okay, but back to the British here. All right. They're going to kick the can down the road, what, another 2 weeks or so? Yeah. Then they're going to kick it down the road again, and then again, and then again.
For 6 months, then for a year, then for 10 years.
Well, if they don't have a vote.
And by the time they decide what they're going to do, Jensen's grandchildren are going to be pension age.
Okay, did the EU agree to a 2 weeks extension without a vote?
I believe so.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The referendum is law. It's 4 days, and then Britain goes bye-bye from the EU. That is the law. Have they done anything to change that law?
Well, I believe your country calls them amendments. They've just amended the rules as they've seen fit.
Yeah, retroactively, yeah.
Did everybody, did all the EU vote on this new rule change?
Hold on, MC. When we were getting prepared to take the vote, the EU said, if you vote to leave the EU, there's no turning back, it can't be stopped. Last year, they said that we could reverse Brexit.
They are literally rewriting the rules on a, for want of a better, daily basis.
They're
I understand that, but I mean, isn't there a process by which they have to vote on this kind of stuff? How can you?
The EU isn't a democratic body. Yes, there's the European Parliament.
They have a structure they have to follow, right?
Right. It's a dictatorship. The European Parliament's just there for show.
Yeah.
Well, what happens in the UK if the government doesn't follow the law?
Not much. Let's get blunt.
They brush it under the rug. No.
Yep.
Only, unlike America, our government's good at this. The American government isn't. I mean,
well, they're following a process. If they're actually amending something, that's why I'm like, as far as I knew, that referendum was on the 28th or 29th or whatever it was. The UK shall leave the EU, or the UK shall remain in the EU. If that is law, I mean, if they have the ability to amend the law or do something like that, then I mean, as long as they're following the process.
That's while we're that's stating while we're in the EU and subject to EU rules and regulations and laws. So therefore, if they decide, you can have an extension, reverse it, or even if push comes to shove, I imagine them try and say, actually, that referendum was illegal, you can't have it.
I'm willing to accept this as a possibility.
Yep. Actually, I'm surprised they haven't pulled that one yet.
I reckon that's going to be their final thing if it all goes totally tits up for them.
Wait a second. So they're going to go the whole Dungeon Master road of saying, yeah, all those critical 20s you just rolled, yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
right.
do anything. That doesn't make people want to continue to play the game.
Correct.
Okay, here's a question. that story you were reading earlier, MC. Did I hear you correctly? Because I was doing shit also and just listening. Did you say that if the Parliament in the UK agrees to Theresa May's deal, she'll step down?
That is the working theory of that paper, that they are under the assumption that people said we'll vote for the deal if you step down.
Yeah, and there are still people in Parliament who say she should just step down anyway.
But the reality is why would you vote for the? What kind of a British citizen can you be to make that kind of a statement? I realize you may not like May, all right, but you're basically voting slavery for your nation, all right. If she steps down, I don't care how much you hate her. Why the hell would you do that to your nation?
MC, we're not voting slavery for our nation. The fucking people who aren't going to be affected of voting slavery for the nation.
We're just getting stuck with the situation.
But you elected these people to represent you, right?
Unfortunately, yes. But when you've got monkeys on one party and fucking chimpanzees on the other party, who do you vote for?
The third party. Anyway,
that doesn't exist.
They have dozens of parties. Look how well it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only two parties. When it comes to British politics, there might be like quite a few parties, but there's only two that ever get into power.
Yep.
Because they're the ones with all the money, all the resources. Well, 2.5, because you count the Liberals on.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so what impact has the articles that they passed had in the UK, if any, yet?
Nothing yet, really. It's all going to go tits up when it finally happens. Let's, just pretend that it's actually going to really happen. Yes, I know MC, Smurfs, dandelions, unicorns, rainbows, but let's just pretend, we can all imagine things. Let's pretend it actually happens and that we don't go to war, which I still actually think is another option. Then that's when all of the things that they are trying to do to crap on us is going to hit us as hard as they can. And then we're going to look at them and go, was that it?
I've had a thought. If we did go to war, all those fucking ISIS bloody fighters who were left back in the country could actually turn out to be useful. Frontline troops. Mind, they'd only be given spears and like bright orange uniforms.
That doesn't seem like a good use of strategic forces.
It gets rid of them, doesn't it?
That seems like it's kind of dehumanizing.
It's a distractionary force.
Yep.
Why didn't you just use flashbangs?
Dude, you're talking to the guy who wants to use nukes.
If they want to use flashbangs, they take their own vests with them.
We haven't used nukes in a while.
I know. Maybe it's time to get them back into fashion.
Yeah.
We should avoid using nukes, but then at the same time, drones now absolutely terrify me.
Yeah,
so you watched it then?
Yep. That video you showed, give me, Jensen. I haven't finished watching it yet. Yeah, it's off a movie, I think. But
yeah, it's not a real thing.
I would love I would love my outhouse to be full of those things.
The reason I shared that video out to all of you was simply put, I wanted to give MC some really cool ideas.
No, I think you made it impossible for MC. But instead,
the only problem with that stuff is battery life. We need extra battery life.
Could you use those to fire M&Ms and Skittles into my mouth?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Jensen, you might want to give MC good ideas, but all you've done is made sure that memes won't be able to go to sleep tonight.
I'm in a win-win.
He'll hear a buzzing. Yeah, he'll be lying in bed and you hear this buzzing. And that's it. He's wide awake for the rest of the night.
Candy bot. The
thing about something like that, though, is while yes, we can do a lot of things with drones. Drones are very susceptible to certain things like EMPs, and generating the kind of EMP that can take those things down doesn't take much power.
Well, how about a strong breeze? Seeing as I see birds fly backwards often.
Can I rewire my microwave to take those things out? Just asking for a friend.
Baseball bat.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but
Okay, well,
means-
I'll connect you with my friend and you guys talk off air. Anyway, moving on.
means you see birds flying backwards because of the funny things you smoke.
This is fair.
Oh, that's probably a contributing factor. But then again, guys, at the same moment, this is a mad.
This is what?
I don't know. He cut
This
himself
is
off.
I thought when you muted him.
Hey,
and
no,
I'll
I muted
wait
myself.
till
So, MC, I have a question. Michael Avenatti wasn't he taken under custody?
Yeah, he was arrested and indicted today.
Oh, because I just noticed his tweet from 6 hours ago and now announcing that big thing against Nike. So from 6 hours ago, he has been arrested.
Yeah, for attempting to extort
Blackmail
money from Nike. And
Oh, that worked fast. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. Okay.
as us over here by the U of O call him Uncle Phil. You don't mess with Uncle Phil.
Yes, you do.
I'll say one more thing about this. People may not realize this, but he also has a co-conspirator who's also been. They haven't indicted him, but they've mentioned him, and he happens to be the lawyer for Juicy.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's just brilliant.
Here she comes. The woman who likes that.
How did they think they were going to be able to extort?
Shut up. I've got a bone to pick with one person and one person only. MC, did you forget how to teenage?
Well, that didn't go well.
What do you mean? Did I forget how to teenage? What are you referring to?
You were talking in your rant today about some 13
I
and
can't hear
15-year-old. Shut up, memes. Anyways, you were
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about some 13 and 15-year-old getting out and then complaining about how their parents somehow let them out, or bitching about that anyways.
She talking about shoes again?
No, she's not talking
No,
about
she's
shoes.
talking about cars and teenagers.
Oh, well, those both can be good
I
things.
did a story today. I'm not saying I said unless the kids snuck out, okay, but they were picked up and stopped by the police at 1 a.m.
Shirati, in MC's defense, Shirati, he didn't know how to teenage when he was a teenager.
That's quite possible.
That's probably fair.
I didn't let my kids go out at 13, out at 1 a.m.
There was a window right next to my bedroom bed when I was
Which is why I put the caveat there that if they snuck out, I understand teenagers will jump out. I understand that. Okay. And I even said if they jumped out and snuck and got the car keys. Now I'm kind of wondering, okay, just how drunk you have to be not to notice that the car keys are missing. But I let that go.
There was a window outside my bedroom as well when I was a teenager. It led straight onto the wash house roof, and I could just climb down into the backyard and get out if I wanted to go out without my parents knowing. I tried it once. My dad was standing on the wash house roof waiting for me. I know. What the hell?
When I was a kid, I snuck out. Hell, most of the teenagers in America snuck out.
Apart from the children under the
At
stairs.
13 years old, you snuck out at 1 a.m. in the morning.
I snuck out before them and was out all night.
No, that would not have that wouldn't have flown. That doesn't fly.
Oh, as long as you don't have creaky
Not like
floors,
my
it's
parents
easier.
didn't know about it. When I got home, my mom's like, "So, how was your night?"
If I get hold of something like that, my mom announces it in a different manner, more like, "Let the beatings begin."
Well, you know what was entertaining about that story, though, is the fact that the 15-year-old let the 13-year-old drive, and the 13-year-old didn't wreck the car. Hey, give them props. He could be the next Dale Earnhardt.
I've got to admit, there was once I did manage to sneak out. I was about 11 at the time, so I wasn't in senior school, so I didn't have to wear a school uniform. I got back about 7 o'clock in the morning. Have you been out all night? Oh, no, I just got up. I had to go to school. that day
Yeah, see-
without any sleep.
See,
May
the
I,
reason my
may I
reason I
interrupt just
got
for a sec? Oz has come up with a point that probably needs to be read out. MC, when you snuck out of the house as a teen, did you take the horse and wagon?
No, that's stupid.
No, he just took the horse.
Jensen, that's stupid and insulting. Of course he didn't. He tried to take his dad's car, but his feet couldn't reach the floor, so he couldn't pedal it. Yabba dabba doo!
You just ride Dino.
Kinky.
Oh, would Dino ride him?
Double kinky. But we don't kink shame here.
Well,
As
if you
far
can't
as
see over
my-
the wheel, then the dinosaur can be your transportation. I've played Ark.
You just want a raptor. Just admit it.
I
probably
did just want a
does.
raptor and build my little cave by a big stone and play with my cousin, but that didn't happen. We got attacked by the Chinese, and then we took over the server in about a month.
So you pulled your finger out your ass and you got it together. To be honest, mate,
Hold
I
on,
congratulate you 100% and much respect.
Hold on.
Okay.
I thought memes didn't come from Arkansas. I mean, why is he playing with his cousin?
Oh, Ark Survival Evolved as a game. It's like Minecraft with dinosaurs and better graphics. Yeah.
Ding ding ding.
Well, and then I met
Ding, 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 ding,
Mrs.
ding.
Memes.
Hey, you need to start MC. We're off to
Okay.
Wait,
you.
are you guys
Anyways,
insinuating
that was-
something?
Yep.
Yes,
No, I was just thinking of a tune. Thank you.
I think we're
That
being
was all I had
derogatory
to
to certain
say.
communities
I
of
just
people
had a bone
here.
to pick with MC. But thanks for explaining yourself. And now that I know that you
Wait, are we
snuck
talking
out
about
too,
incest?
No.
See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So MC, what the hell are the Dems freaking out about now? I was doing classwork all night last night, research for my papers, so I didn't really catch it.
They're basically in complete denial, all right, of this, saying Mueller didn't find collusion, but that doesn't mean that collusion didn't happen. And even if there wasn't collusion, he's still a racist, so we're still going to impeach him. And it still doesn't mean that there's not obstruction of justice. And we're still going to investigate.
Hey, didn't that British disco group in the early 80s make a song about all of this? Yeah. No, it's not a fact. There is no collusion.
The reality is they're not going to stop. This is what they've typically done. The press comes out and the Hill does well, let's apologize, and their apology is a non-frickin' apology. All right.
Yeah, it's a veiled insult.
It's just a bunch of garbage, right?
Yep.
It admits that, okay, well, we made some mistakes here, but it's not just the mistakes. It's like, what have you been overlooking? What have you been intentionally avoiding telling the truth about? Okay, you know where this stuff is. You know everything everybody else knows about the PIS dossier. You know everything that everyone else knows about when it came to, okay, what evidence they had for this investigation. And the reality is there was no evidence for this investigation. They are all now, they all know this now, but they still won't go, okay, well, but there was an investigation. Why was there an investigation? Why were warrant taps and why were wiretaps issued? All right, on Trump's presidential election team. All right, so that they could listen in to what his conversations were with his advisors. Okay, you have no evidence. There's no reason to say that there was collusion. Where did that come from? Well, it came from the PIS dossier, but you knew that was false. You knew that was false. So how could you go in front of the committee in the FISA warrants and say that you knew that this was false, but still went in front of the FISA and said it was real when you knew it wasn't? How can you sit up there and go back and say, well, George Papadopoulos, when you knew that the information that George Papadopoulos came from one of your implanted spies when you told him to say that? This was obvious, the criminality that you were justifying, all right, to try and come back with this, okay? And what's worse is Mueller. Everyone keeps talking about how Mueller is this hero. He came back and he said there was no collusion. You got to give him credit for that. No, I don't have to give him credit for that, because there was Russia collusion. Steele did work with the Russians. Steele did get information directly from Russian intelligence agents, okay? Who paid for that? Hillary did. Why isn't Hillary being investigated? Why wasn't she investigated for Russia collusion? If you're there and you're assigned, Mr. Mueller, to find out about Russia collusion, how come you did not sit up there and investigate, pay for play, obviously, with Hillary Clinton, with the Russians?
Oh, maybe it's in the report. Did you read it yet?
It wasn't in the report. It doesn't mention her at all.
You read the whole thing? I thought it was just leaked like an hour or two ago.
The report was leaked on Sunday.
Oh. All right, then.
MC is obviously not taking any notice of the live chat there.
Good job, eh?
It is.
What's the
Make
last
sure we
chance
don't
say
mention it, though.
now I'm afraid to look.
Well, put it this way, MC. It's really good how you can hide that Irish accent.
I'm basically Yoda.
I was waiting for that bit.
MC the leprechaun.
All right. While MC may in some respects physically resemble Yoda, I'm pretty sure their ideologies are a little different.
I can see MC rocking a pair of fishbowl platforms.
On stilts.
A couple goldfish in there as I stomp on them down the street. Put the parachute pants on, do a little dance.
So why are the Democrats freaking out and fighting amongst each other instead of unifying and preparing for the 2020 election?
Because they don't have to.
What do you mean they don't have to? They got the fight of their lives coming up.
They don't believe that.
No, they're just figuring themselves out right now. I mean, the 2016 election was a severe, traumatic, emotional moment for millions of people.
They've been figuring themselves out since the 60s. They should have had it figured out by now.
They have. And what they figured out is the press will cover for their crimes and their malfeasance at every opportunity, and they can trust them to lie and smear anyone that comes out as an opponent. All they're waiting for right now is for the media to take
that business model isn't effective anymore.
That business model is very effective. It worked in this last midterm election. So
MC,
don't say that it's not effective.
MC, I've got something that explains the difference between politicians back in the day and now. Back in the day, the Americans, partially because of Cold War, but it was a political move. Put a man on the moon, right?
Yeah.
They didn't fake it. They actually put a man on the moon. These days, if it hadn't happened until now, they would fake it.
Yeah.
We didn't have Photoshop back then, or at least in this updated form.
We didn't have it at all.
We
had a Photoshop, but it was literally a shop where you went to get your photos developed.
We didn't have hegemony either.
Mm.
Right now, you can trust that the liberals, all right, the people of Hillary's ilk, right, they have no problem getting in bed with the Russians.
Oh, you mean Hitlery?
Right?
No. Secretary Clinton during the Obama administration, they had business dealings. I thought they sold certain chemicals or products to them or elements.
You mean Secretary Kilton?
They sold the uranium, yes, the uranium one.
Was that the uranium we got from Iraq?
Yes,
No.
but when they sold them that uranium, they told them it was
we did actually ship that uranium to Canada, which was a mistake as well, but that's a separate issue.
Yeah, now there's all those Canadian mutants on the border.
Why does uranium keep seeming to go through Canada?
Like
Why what?
Every time something comes up with uranium more recently in just these 2 previous instances, it seems to just go through Canada.
Right, because Canada has different shipping requirements and different reporting requirements, so you could hide where they actually sent it.
Could it just be we don't want to expose U.S. people to radiation?
Do you know anything about uranium?
It's an alpha emitter, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I can basically have a piece of cardboard.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It still can be scary.
Memes. It's only scary if you get some 238 and some 235 and start banging them together and see what happens. That's when you're allowed to be scared.
No, well, as long as it's not encasing a plutonium core or having the proper projectile at the right angle with the right masses,
and you're hitting it with a hammer, you could be in trouble.
Yes, no, you don't go bam, bam, bam when there's radioactive shit around.
Who was it that was talking about Yabba Dabba Doo?
Oh.
Shot.
So wait, what the hell are we talking about?
Blowing up the
You
world.
were talking about uranium. I'm trying to figure out how we went from people being arrested to uranium. But
I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw Michael Avenatti making his big Nike post, but apparently that was before MC's afternoon stream where I found out he had been arrested.
Yes, he'd been arrested for his big Nike post.
Why?
They call it extortion.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it looks like.
But when it disappeared, I'm sure I saw Cabbage.
You're a lawyer,
climbing...
aren't you? Lawyer.
Is this thing on?
Yes, it is.
But when my internet died, I'm sure I just saw Cabbage climbing over my fucking yard wall.
Terrifying.
Get the weed killer.
I realized I can't hear Batman either.
You can still spray people, can't you?
No, use a restroom.
Technically, no, because that's actually spreading chemical warfare nowadays.
It depends what you're spraying them with.
This is fair.
It's just water, but it's coming out of your willy.
God damn it, Batman.
I probably shouldn't have said something like that because, unfortunately, the several other people that like throwing acid around now have a new methodology.
What?
What?
Acid doesn't come from there.
Well, technically, yes, it does.
True.
But it's not of a harmful sort.
Funny enough, talking about acid, we could look back at those drones and think aerosol vector attack forms. Oh, what fun.
The thing is,
no comment.
MC, you said they run out of battery life. Yeah, that's where they got you fooled, because the real ones aren't drones. They're genetically modified insects. Yeah.
That will happen.
They have taken cockroaches and they have taken over the nervous systems and caused them to walk around carrying a camera.
Not these ones. These ones are like houseflies and that. But they're being genetically modified to carry bombs. You can tell that because they've got like little white hats on and beards. And you'll probably be the only one to hear it just before you die because it's flown at you in.
Actually, if we're going to go down sillies, how about this for a thought? It's a nice idea with your explosive bugs. If you're genetically modifying them, why don't you just have them actually create their own internal bioacid and self-detonate spraying? You might as well if you're going to go there, because it's not actually that far on.
In all seriousness, we'll just take a little bit of genetic tinkering with any given animal that has a digestive system to create a living bomb.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like explosives.
Yeah.
Not with enough power to actually do damage to the human body.
It depends on where it hits.
If you hit him in the eye, he got me in the eye.
Hey?
Well,
I was walking around.
I've got an update on New Zealand.
Have you?
So
still there?
No, he knows where it's at.
Bans Christchurch manifesto orders citizens to destroy it or face jail time.
Oh.
It's more legal than Mein Kampf.
Yep. Welcome to modern day censorship of everything.
I don't want to be an American idiot. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and who? What were they?
Oh, they referenced something about the media.
Yeah, a bunch of freaking idiots themselves because they're a
Oh.
bunch of freaking hardcore leftists.
Oh, well, I am an idiot.
That doesn't
No,
surprise
when you
me.
say the state of the world now, don't you wish you could go back
I'm not sure
in
if anyone
time?
else is still talking. I
Don't
can't hear
wish-
people. Hold on.
Yeah, when you say the state of the world now, don't you wish you could go back in time with all the media, available to you, show it to the people who were going to fight the Nazis, and just let fucking Hitler take the world.
Okay,
Actually,
first off, Mad Dodge Productions disavows any violence, especially against journalists. But MC, I don't know how this will make you feel. Already in 2019, the 5th Mexican journalist has been murdered, mostly by the cartel, of course. It's not the government murdering these journalists, it's the cartel members. They've also targeted YouTubers in the past that reported on the cartel activities. Mexico seems to be getting worse each and every year, right?
Yep.
Dodge, can I ask you a question? How many of the cartel members are actually in the Mexican government? Serious question.
I don't believe any cartel members would be watching this, but
are in the Mexican government.
Oh, in the Mexican government, probably
Yeah.
quite a bit. If not directly in it, then paying off government officials.
And what did the great grand new leader sit up there and say that he was going to do?
Go ahead, I'm not sure.
where AMLO, Obrador, basically said that they were going to have this massive crackdown on corruption. Seems to be effective, doesn't it? Seems to be really kicking ass against that massive.
I thought he said he might potentially be working with the cartels to try to achieve a peace.
Yeah. And how well is that working?
Oh, a lot of people getting killed.
So pretty effective, huh? See, the people who want freedom, the people who don't want to be under the thumb of a socialist state, seem to be the ones getting whacked.
Seems to me the ones that want freedom are the ones that are trying to cross the border north.
No, they're the ones who want an easy way out of things.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting for it in their own countries.
Oz says, but the government works for the cartels, right?
They
Which
work
one?
hand in hand. They work hand in hand.
Yeah.
Well, the Mexican government's been corrupt for generations down there, right?
Yeah.
The Mexican
So why do you
government's
expect anything different?
Mad. The Mexican government's been corrupt so long as there's been a Mexican government.
Yeah.
Hold on. Define corrupt.
Really big payoffs. where if you get in trouble, the Mexican police basically ask you how much can you pay, and if you can pay enough, they let you go.
Yep.
Is that corrupt enough for you, memes?
No, I said define corrupt because
I am defining
one. Okay, all right. So how many other nations are like that?
Very few. Well,
most of the ones in South America.
Latin America's like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Spain's
that may change in Brazil right now.
Spain's like that.
Because he's go ahead.
If I may, just a point I want to make to Ain't Jack. He says that there's no such thing as a perfect defense. I thoroughly disagree with you. The perfect defense is the total and utter annihilation of all of your enemies. That way you don't need a defense. 100% success.
Jensen, are you sure you shouldn't have like a high-pitched, strident, almost electrical sounding voice? And then end each sentence with the word exterminate.
Exterminate.
I would like to point out, and Mad, you might want to do your little speech about now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The views expressed by the panel of Mad Dodge Productions are not necessarily the views of Mad Dodge Productions or any of the other panelists. Do not ban us, YouTube. Monetize me, please, please, please. Okay.
Oh, and just for an update, this is a Mad Dodge Productions news alert here. Apparently, Mark Garados was dropped by CNN after being identified by Wall Street Journal as co-conspirator in Michael Avenatti case.
Yeah, Juicy's lawyer.
Oh! I thought you were talking about Michael Avenatti.
Juicy would have a pretty good lawyer. No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jensen. No worries. Just want to point out that the thing I totally advocate is exterminatus. So, you know, if you get rid of all of your enemies, you don't have enemies. It's not confusing, guys.
I don't know what that word means in Latin, but it didn't sound nice.
Well, the thing is, Jensen advocates a type of war where if you win, when you want to visit your enemy's homeland, you would have to wear an encounter suit.
Yes.
Is that like the thing from Call of Duty 3?
No, that's the thing that protects you from biological, chemical, and radiation.
Oh, I was talking about the guys with the machine guns.
Yep.
NBC suits aren't really that effective.
A noddy suit.
Although, unless it's alpha or some of the beta emitters that can stop.
Fair point, and seeing as what I'm thinking of using is probably going to be putting out enough radiation. It doesn't matter what you do to protect yourself. The point being,
if you use neutron radiation, it goes away pretty quick.
To wrap this back around to Mexico, does Mexico possess nuclear weapons?
No.
Not that you know of.
No, they don't know how to handle freaking radiation. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
they're driving highly radioactive substances like iridium 192 in the tens of thousands of curies, and they park their truck to go get some gas, and then they walk into the local little mart there, and the truck gets stolen, and the thieves open up the back, of course, and they open up the the equipment and end up dead in the hospital with radiation burns. Okay,
well, they got it back.
They got it back after the people died. After the thieves died, they were like, "Oh, there's where it is."
Well, that's terrible.
And don't forget all of the other drivers that are going past that are collecting their rads nice and comfortably, depending on how open the vehicle actually was at the time. There's a lot of people affected.
In Mexico, they decommissioned a cobalt 90 linear accelerator. All right, which means that it uses cobalt 90 to create the radiation. And instead of removing the cobalt 90, they left it there. They sold the entire thing, including the cobalt 60, all right, to a local salvage company. At which point the local salvage company, basically, one of the guys said, "Ooh, look at this nice, cool little blue thing." He took it home and had it on his mantle, all right, wiped out him, his family, and everybody else. They didn't know why they died. The family just died. They figured this out after this truck was trying to drive across the border with salvaged metal, right, and set off the radiation alarms, and they tracked it back to this.
They weren't trained.
Aren't you glad that in the real world there's no such thing as Stark Industries? Seriously. Yeah. Especially the way he was before the opening of the first film. Because all these terrorists who would have these high-tech weapons.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Do we really know where Donald Trump is at night?
Yes. Have you seen his wife? Yes, we do.
I've also seen his Twitter account.
I hate to say this, but I would make that comment, except for the fact that I've also seen Stormy Daniels, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah, no. All
They're both attractive young women.
No, they aren't.
No.
I'm sorry. No, they're not.
To each their own.
So pretty much we need radiation detectors all along said wall. It sounds like to me.
We have radiation detectors on all the border checkpoints.
Are our phones radiation detectors?
But what about these smugglers, right? They could be smuggling uranium in just through the middle of the desert where,
Sure, you can smuggle uranium in through the desert. How much uranium are you going to be able to smuggle in?
There's uranium in the desert.
I've had a great idea. You know the wall Trump wants to build?
Enough for a small dirty bomb that could take out part of a city.
Terrorism,
my friend.
Hold on. You know Trump's wall? I've had a great idea. It needs to be on tracks, hidden tracks, so that at night you can move it a bit further south.
Wait, are you saying we're going to slowly over time eminent domain Mexico?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I call it annexation, but you know.
No, I call it just crushing.
If they don't say anything for 20 years, I think it counts.
They spend half of their lives asleep.
Well, Mexico accuses the United States of destroying an island that used to be expanding Mexico's offshore rights or whatever. And supposedly we destroyed the island. That way we had more of the Gulf. So there's that.
Well, they built the island.
Wait, so we did destroy it?
Yes.
I thought maybe they put through a random island there on accident.
No, they created an island and then tried to do what the Japanese, or not the Japanese, the Chinese are doing in the South China Sea. And we said, "Oh, really? Here, watch this." And then the island wasn't there one day.
Well, it was merely target practice.
Wow, I thought that was a conspiracy from the Mexican government. Wow, I didn't know we actually did that. That's kind of fun.
Can you guys remember before the stream actually started when we were talking about this? And Dodge says that really the US should carpet bomb Mexico.
I know. I actually agree with him.
Yeah.
We should carpet bomb Mexico. Why would we want to carpet bomb?
No, we didn't say anything about carpets.
Actually, I'd like to point out I am the person that really advocates that you guys actually take over all of the Americas. It deals with the whole war problem really.
Why give us the problem? Why give them to us? We don't want they are the problem. Why do we want them?
Hey, MC, it's not so long ago that the United States actually wanted to do that.
We wanted to kill them.
No, you wanted to take them over.
Well, they were Indians. We wanted to treat them like the rest of the Native Americans.
I'm on about early 20th century.
That's pretty racist.
Yeah. Is that over the line? I'm sorry.
We should avoid genocide.
Way back before you found how much.
How many times do you got to say we should avoid genocide and yet still not have a solution? I'm still waiting for a solution.
Maximum retention.
That's a solution to what?
Oh, if you say a word 3 times, that's supposed to be maximum retention.
I'm still waiting.
But MC, Penoid has a question for you in the chat. MC, have you thought about chopping up your show and releasing them after? So, like taking each story and clipping it out and then having standalone videos after you do the stream? Yeah, I have.
Oh, great. Jensen, now we're getting insulted by a monkey.
The thing is
yeah.
While I see the appeal for doing that, at the same time, I don't want to be like everyone else. Right?
I think
I like the format, and so I move forward with it.
Well, MC, you're not like anybody else. You're a rapping parachute pants wearing leprechaun.
I think what Batman's trying to say is you're good at what you do, and Tom is looking for syndication rights.
Well, yeah. If I was being serious, that's what I'd be saying. Memes.
Let's go to our man on the street. MC, are you freaking kidding me? That would be an excellent clip.
No, can you imagine? Let's go to a man on the streets, MC, and he didn't hear it. He go, they do what they wanted to say, what they want to say. MC, I will stop doing this the day you stop laughing at it.
Well, that's not happening anytime soon.
So, are they eating each other in Venezuela yet? Damn, I can't say that.
Did you see the post of the girl, of the mother that was crying over her daughter who died of starvation?
No, I did hear about it, but no, I did not see it. No, but I am aware that happened.
Hold on a minute, Jensen. I can hear your keyboard going. Are you looking up flights to Venezuela after what Mad Dodge just said?
I neither confirm or deny that I may or may not have tickets.
Tickets? Oh, so he's taking Queen Bee with him.
So Michael Avenatti is facing 50 years, Penoid says in the chat.
I'm sure it's just a vast right-wing conspiracy. Right, memes?
Wait, what? Well, Michael Avenatti, he seemed kind of weird.
It's all part of the vast right-wing conspiracy.
Yep.
Well, wasn't he just trying to blackmail Nike?
he's accused of blackmailing the like a university or being part of a wire fraud scheme, and also
didn't he also screw over Miss Daniels?
Yeah, she put a little note today.
What
I realized my choice of verbiage probably wasn't the best.
I've got to ask a question. What kind of a world is it that we live in when the leader of Russia seems to be the only world leader who's actually interested in looking after his people?
Some would take issue.
I would say that his people are generally pretty how do I say this? Docile.
You mean scared shitless of him?
They seem kind of compliant, so it's not really.
Have you seen any of the traffic cam fights? If someone gets into an accident in Russia, they bust down, they get into like fisticuffs, and then they go back on with their day.
Well, okay, but are they? Did they go on with their day? Right, no problem.
Have you seen
get stuff and things done?
There's a famous Russian game show where, the object, it's like one of these reality TV game shows where you've got to steal a car, and you've got like 30 minutes to avoid getting shot to death by the police.
Cool.
That's a game show. Yes, this is
that sounds like what I was proposing on the border.
Chuck, the problem is, Chuck, so do the women. Know how to be men. That's what
you open up the casinos and the betting pool's open. We're releasing number 62. How far will we get?
We're not in the Hunger Games yet, MC.
Well, you see the border. The border should just be one big line, which was just like shoot like gates, and you herd them all in, and then you open the gates and let them run.
That's not humane.
The running of the immigrant.
That seems like a waste of materials.
That's only a waste if they step in the wrong spot.
We're not deploying more landmines. That's against something.
Why not?
We signed a piece of paper, I think.
We did not sign a piece of paper that says we won't deploy landmines.
That's interesting.
In North America?
The United States has never signed a paper that says we will not deploy landmines. In fact, we refuse to sign that paper.
It's highly frowned upon.
I don't care if the EU is frowning at us. Ooh, look at the evil face.
You were talking about deploying them on the Mexican border.
A frowning Frenchman. What a problem. I want the landmines on the U.S. side.
Have them on both sides. So think we're safe. We're safe. Boom.
No. Because that's where you put the chutes, right? So you open them up. It's like a race, ding, 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 and the chutes open and out they come, and they start scattering around.
No, you've got to do it entertainingly. So they're not just landmines, but they have more force and shrapnel. So a person gets blown. He gets blown about 12 feet in the air. So he hit another few on the way when he comes down.
68. Who had 68? Nobody had 68.
All right, you guys can go back to landmines in a second. Since the original topic of the show was about Brexit, I just found a great little excerpt here. Boris says government has chickened out on Brexit. May should tell EU pharaohs, let my people go.
Yep.
Oh!
Yeah, but let's face it, it means more the walking stick than the Moses. And you know what she knows, when you see her in the House of Commons, sitting in the House of Commons with her hands in her lap, you know what she's doing? She's playing with her willy.
No, but that's great. Let my people go. Come on. Why not Boris for Prime Minister? Come on.
Oh, I agree. I think it'd be hilarious. I genuinely think he would be as funny as fuck to have as a Prime Minister. Let's be honest, we need a bit of humour now. It's actually got so bad. At least if we have a complete idiot in there, we know he's a complete idiot.
Jensen, is it a good thing that we're rating our Western leaders by how entertaining they are?
Well, we have a choice of how entertaining or how corrupt. If you're about to suggest, but what about how good they are? Yeah, and when was the last time that there was a truly good leader?
I would say
you guys were getting bombed by the Germans.
But no. Okay, is this fear mongering? Admirals generals warn entanglement with EU military post Brexit will harm security. Are they saying it might lead to war?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is their final option if everything goes tits up. They
the
will.
EU is threatening Great Britain with war.
The thing is, though, the European army, that would be brilliant to fight. Because,
the EU is
hold on,
threatening
MC, hold on. Fighting the EU army would be fucking so entertaining, because let's face it, yeah, we'd have to wait until they stopped fighting amongst themselves.
Please let MC rant.
No, you can rant.
The EU, with the mighty German, Panzer force of 500 main battle tanks
For World War II, which is pulled out of a museum.
Okay. Half of which are deadline because they're Leopard 2s and they don't know how to keep them operational.
MC, the vast majority of armed forces and material in the EU, in Germany belong to NATO.
So the question would remain about this. What really is just how many bed sheets, all right, does France have to turn into white flags?
Or they'd carpet bomb their own
question.
MC, they would carpet bomb their own country with white paint.
Fair point. And MC, it's a good job that there's not a whole bunch of British bases in Germany where we've got, large amounts of our forces, because that'd be really stupid if they did something with something like that. Wouldn't it be ridiculous?
Oh my God!
It would be even stupider considering how unpopular the EU is in Germany. Yeah,
also true.
Amongst the armed forces in Germany.
Isn't the UK a US ally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
and
actually,
it's also a really good
the
job.
UK is our only ally.
Yeah.
It's also a really good job there's not US bases all over Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
that'd be really
we don't
stupid.
have bases in Italy and Spain.
They
massive
matter.
amounts of armored forces all over Europe, like in Germany and Poland. What was that? 1,000 tanks in Poland that we shipped?
I'm not sure, but I think the only place you don't actually have any bases is the United Kingdom.
We have air bases in Europe.
Don't we have a bunch of missiles all over Europe too?
No, we do not. Not nuclear tip. No.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to time out Ain't Jack.
Why are you timing out Ain't Jack now?
Because he's just said that the French are being more manly than the Brits.
Yeah, I was about ready to read that out loud for him, but yeah, I figured
because they're protesting their government.
Yeah. I bet they're not French. They're British holiday.
Did you notice how compliant they got when Macron said, "Look, I told them to open fire if you do it again."
Yeah.
Oh look, they surrendered.
But then again,
now, which country is this we're talking about?
Yeah,
I can't
but then
imagine.
again, look at how the French police force were handling the yellow shirts rioters. They were running away from them.
True.
Even now, when we have riots in the UK, even now, and it's you can see it on YouTube. Our police force don't run away. Yeah, some of the officers in front will be running away from the crowd, but they're not running away from the.
They don't run away. You're right. The UK, you guys in the UK, your police force do run, but they're busy trying to tackle the guy. He's got a YouTube account. Get him.
Yeah.
He made a joke.
Yeah.
What about the guy?
This dog just did the Nazi salute at me.
Hey! Just don't go around revving your engine in a racial manner.
Yeah, I know that was amazing.
Yeah. Like the thing is, just going on in the chat, and it's very similar to how people who've never had to fight in their lives before go on.
Yeah.
Well, Ain't Jack is yeah. I mean, he comes from partly from Korea, if I remember correctly. So
Yep.
Well, his family does. From what I heard.
So I wouldn't. I mean, he's just making light of the situation. Like
I know.
like
I know. Yeah, MC, don't worry. I know he's just having a laugh, and he knows I'm just having a laugh. Yeah. People like you, we have to explain this to. It's what men do.
So hold it, Batman. You're having a laugh, yeah? You're under arrest. That's it. You're a criminal.
I've got a license.
Well, you just
okay, then.
you just lost your Article 13 has hit, Mad Dodge. You're done. You're being taken down.
No, it hasn't hit yet. They need to come to an accord in Romania.
Let's be fair. By the time that actually really goes through, I think we would have finally had our Brexit. So, Europe's screwed anyway.
Yeah. There's two things we'll never see. We'll never see the light of day: Brexit and the fucking Trump wall.
We'll see. We'll see if the wall gets built.
There's some building of a wall. I saw some prototypes.
Hey, there's another thing that will never see the light of day. A man who actually finds Chelsea Clinton attractive.
Fair point.
She's having her second kid now.
Yeah. How big's a bank account?
She's a lovely young mom.
Yeah. Well, I suppose next you'll be saying the same about Amy Schumer, will you?
Forty's here. 40's here. I heard him through someone's speakers. I can't hear him now.
40. I was passing this farmer's field yesterday. It was goat in it. I swear it looked at this other goat and goes, my crotch smells like Amy Schumer.
I mean, that's in her own words, right? Not mine.
Wow.
Her vagina is the one that smells like a barn. That's her joke. That's her joke.
Yep.
That's not even me saying that.
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's just a factual description.
Well, it's a stolen factual description as well, if you want to
Yep.
follow some claims as to where the jokes are coming from.
Why did somebody walk up to her and go, Wilbur?
I'm surprised she hasn't used Mr. Ed.
Hey, no being bullies on the internet.
That's like the only reason the internet exists, though.
Yep.
Let's be
And
real.
cat videos.
Let's face it, Amy Schumer was trying 7-Up before she realized it was a drink.
Who sits down and watches all these cat videos? I don't watch fucking cat videos. Do you watch fucking cat videos?
No, I watch funny cat videos, not fucking cat videos. What am I? What do you think I'm, a pervert?
Dude,
Do you really want us to answer that question first?
Actually, Oz, I would, but it'd have to be somebody I totally despised.
Well, I just pop in and all I hear is cat fucking.
Oh, it's Maddie's on one of his kinks.
Oh, be careful. They've got barbed penises.
How would you know?
Man.
You don't kink shame here. Come on.
MC, why do you think Memes has a funny walk?
No. My cats around here are not that large.
I'm not going there. I am not going there.
He's like 10 pounds, man. He's not like a freaking tiger.
It's like clubbing a baby seal. He just wants to be clubbed. You're looking up with those doe eyes saying,
You guys have been on the internet.
So by this, you're admitting that you love catnip on your bum.
What?
Okay.
I spilled it on my pants.
Oh my god.
Okay, real quick. Hey, you Brits. I'm still looking at British and European.
I'm sorry.
No, just a minute. No, let me finish. Yes.
No.
When did MI5 become Captain Obvious? Number of far-right terror cases absolutely dwarfed by Islamic cases. When did they become Captain fucking Obvious?
There's always been a public. There's always been a branch of MI5 that is transparent to the public. There always has been. MI5 are not the spies of the spy catchers. It's when MI6 are after you, you've got to worry. And I was going to say, but you've ruined the fucking mood now. Mad Dodge with your fucking butting in with intelligence.
What you're saying is you got to put the
Sorry,
pussy
the
down.
host of the show does a little bit of hosting.
Not
No,
actually necessary if the show's going well on its own. Your
Yeah.
job is actually only to push it in directions when
yeah.
it goes quiet. So
Uh,
technically, Mad, you're actually wrong there, mate.
Yeah,
In other
and
words,
he doesn't have
quiet
another
and step
job.
away from the pussy.
He does have another job. He's here to make sure that the string stays on.
That is a bit of a benefit, yes.
Yeah. It's no use muting yourself, Mad. We can all hear you weeping.
No, I got another story for you. Italy, African school bus attacker, unrepentant, would do it 100 times. Well, I hope they don't let him out of prison.
Oh, why? We're letting Charles Walker Lynn out.
They'll probably elect him as their next fucking president, man.
We're going to ship him to Ireland, as a matter of fact.
The Republic.
Now, the question is that a punishment?
Depends which part of Ireland they're going to ship him to.
I don't know. He's an unrepentant freaking radical terrorist. I don't know whether or not that's a punishment or not. I'm not sure who it's going to get punished by it.
Well, in Jack, if he's bombing African school buses, he's probably not a Muslim.
That's fair.
Although then again, they do kill themselves more than anybody else does.
Also fair.
Well, and if anybody needed another reason to hate Cersei Lannister, Lena Headley, the woman who plays her, will be leading a celebrity-studded anti-Brexit march in London here soon.
I don't care. I don't. The only thing that interests me about any celebrity really is how well they do the job. Aside from that, I'm not really interested in them.
Who is she? What
She
is the show?
plays Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones.
Please.
Jensen knows who she is.
And
yeah.
she doesn't live in the United Kingdom anymore because she's made it in America. So
she played Claire Underwood from House of Cards. She's an attractive lady.
She was also on the movie 300.
No, hold it. What?
Yeah, she played one of the spears. Oh no, hold on, that was Keira Knightley, wasn't it?
No, she played the Queen of Sparta or whatever.
Yeah.
She's also Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
No, that was did she? Because I thought that was Emilia Clarke.
No. The bint
that was
plays
Terminator Genesis.
No, the bint that plays Cersei.
You're on about the TV show, aren't you, Quinn?
Yes.
Yep.
It's the same woman.
Yeah, and Dodge is on about the worst of the Terminator movies.
Oh, fuck no. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just we was talking about Cersei Lannister. I was just making the point that she was also in Terminator.
You know that the Terminator movies, the time travel with that Terminator Genesis was getting so convoluted. I was waiting for John Connor to get hit by a fucking DeLorean appearing out of nowhere.
Wait.
Yeah, there's still another one to come.
Are
Just remember that.
are UK actors and actresses against Brexit because it'll make it harder for them to
They're lefties
perform in Europe?
Mad.
Batman's right.
They're like American actors and actresses. They're lefties.
Fair enough, but wouldn't Brexit make it harder for them to travel to Europe to perform? Right?
No.
Which is why they don't want Brexit to even exist.
It didn't make it difficult for them beforehand. In the 60s and that.
Maybe there's people just doing stuff that they believe in.
No, they're virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Are we virtue signaling?
Of course we are.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying what I believe.
Which is technically a form of virtue signaling.
Are you saying that when I talk about opening the gates that this is a virtue?
Oh no, I think you're talking about the coming cataclysm.
Oh, we're back to cats again, are we? You've got one-track mind memes.
I like cats.
Yes, that's why you bury yourself in the litter box with just your ass poking out in it.
What? No. He poops on the edge and stuff. Although XX Mrs. Memes' cat may she rest in peace. She used to kind of like straddle the box and do this weird thing, and I don't know, it's kind of funny.
You basically were investing time in studying cat poo.
No, she told me about it, and then I just happened to notice one day. I'm like, wow, you're being a very odd cat, but you're so fuzzy.
I'm not going there. I am not going there.
Anyway, 40. So, what's up, man? Any news out of California?
We're not on fire yet.
Notice his word.
Yes. Hey, Oz.
The yet part.
Hey, 40. Just wait till the California Muslims have planted all those bombs along the fault line. And then demand that California become a caliphate or else.
I mean, we kind of are.
Yeah, but not officially.
Well,
maybe you can get them to set the bombs off anyway. I mean, let's be fair. I think that most of the West Coast would look really good about 50 miles away. Everyone good with
first
that?
First of all, we have to do something. We have to get people like 40 out of California.
Why?
Well,
we don't know if he's a carrier. we don't know. We don't know.
No, we're not going down the road of geologic terrorism.
We can put them in quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine. It's not like the big. It's not like the
thing.
big gay is hibernational or anything. Like that.
Yeah.
After like 72 hours, suddenly 40's like, I love Hillary Clinton. We're like, no!
Memes, you go against genocide and now you're going against us getting rid of the West Coast. What is your problem, man? You're just so negative.
I like my iPhones.
He's just not solution oriented.
Hey, seriously, though. Seriously, guys.
Hey,
when you look at America,
country.
when you look at America, there's only two things wrong with America at the moment: the West Coast and the East Coast.
Yep.
Yeah. Why do you think we don't like global warming?
Who says
coastline people?
Global warming would be a good thing for America because
an extra 3 feet of fucking water.
Who doesn't like global?
Dude, millions of people are just gonna die.
No, they're not.
Drown. They'll have to migrate.
Al Gore's got him. He's a carrier.
Means, if that were true, you Americans should like global warming because it's going to get rid of the East Coast and the West Coast for you.
Oh, it's making China, India very lush.
If they were that worried about it, most of China's population is on their coast.
They're not the world hegemon yet.
Isn't America owned by China?
Not if we go to war with them and take them out, right?
You couldn't. You could nuke China all the live long day and they'd hardly notice it's so fucking big.
If you sit up there and throw a big space rock in the Sea of Japan, and they'll notice that.
Yep.
Yeah, but to do that, you've got to get fucking what you call it up there.
Yeah, but we'd also we'd also wake up Godzilla, and we still have nuclear material.
That's not a good idea.
Okay,
that's why you have two space rocks.
Sacrifices have to be made. I'm willing to make them.
I do like Godzilla, though.
but we all know what America's track record is for like bombs and shit. Yeah, you probably hit one of your own allies.
We don't how do I say this? We don't always hit our own allies.
You do know friendly fire is actually an American invention.
Well, if you guys would have vehicles that didn't look like freaking Soviet armor, that might be one of the reasons why.
We don't know.
Yes, you do.
Hey, in the Gulf War,
I had to explain this to Cabbage, and this is true, Batman.
MC, in the Gulf War, an American squadron of tank buster planes happened upon this column, dove down and checked them out, and then blew them to pieces.
Yes,
and then had to explain to a court martial why they blew up British tanks.
Yes.
We went down and they had a signal on that looked like the enemy. And you mean the Union flag?
No, that's not what it is.
That's
Okay,
what was on the tanks.
let me explain to you why we think that you were the enemy. All right, we have flashcards with the different armor that they flip through, saying friend or foe, friend or foe, friend or foe. And one of the things that we learned through these 52 deck of cards was that anything that had wheeled vehicles with them that didn't look like a Humvee, it was Soviet, so they were foe. So the fact that you guys had armored vehicles with wheels indicated to the people looking at, yep, they're Russian. That's a Russian design. Blow it away.
The British were penalized as an enemy because they had well armored vehicles.
Yeah.
Well, vehicles with wheels.
Another incident in the Gulf War, there was a helicopter, an American helicopter, which was shot down by some American fighters because they thought it was the enemy. It had American top brass on it.
That wasn't. Well, they probably were the enemy when you think about it.
No, they weren't. It was an American helicopter.
You're missing the point.
Yeah, P.
They would have gone through the flashcards and they was like, oh, that's an American helicopter.
You don't just subvert the chain of command.
You're missing the point. They died as heroes.
Actually, that's the funny thing. They didn't die.
Good.
They didn't die. The pilots wished they had, though.
Well, it's just a mistaken identity. Things happen.
Mistaken identity.
No, those fighters can shoot something down from how many miles away? They can't see the insignia on it.
They that's true. We can fire from long distance.
Yes, but because of that technology, yeah. Most armed forces carry an IFF.
Yeah, but the chopper might have had theirs off because it was close to enemy territory. They didn't want to be picked up that way by the enemy.
Yes, they weren't close to enemy territory. And besides, they'd know, because it was top brass. They had no patrol route, so they would have it on.
Not necessarily, and that doesn't mean that the gear on those jets were going to pick up the friend or foe signal. There's a lot of things that happen during combat that people don't realize. There's a lot of ways. Friendly fire, I realize, isn't, but there's a lot of ways it can happen, and people don't recognize how simple it actually is. The British tanks did get hit because they had wheeled vehicles with them, and they thought they were Soviet design, so therefore they were Iraqi.
Yeah,
but you don't think the British have fired artillery at their own people on accident before? I bet you they have.
In World War One, yes, that happened, but we're not talking about us.
Actually, no, Batman, better defense. We learnt.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
pulled one out in Vietnam. American officers got shot in the back of the head by Viet Cong snipers. You know why? Because the Americans in Vietnam, they had the officers' insignia painted on the back of the helmets. So
yeah,
snipers watching
exactly.
oh look, officer, bang. In World War II, the American officers had the insignia on the front of the helmets. So German snipers sitting in the tree there. Oh, look, officer, bang, front of the helmet.
Yeah. A lot of American officers died also because they stood up there and got saluted in front of the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just classic intelligence, that, isn't it?
Yep.
Genius, right there.
There was a number that died because they were going to the bathroom and somehow a grenade rolled in.
I'd be
just unlucky.
One of the problems that the American forces faced in Vietnam was enlisted. They were on a year-long tour, but the tour for many of the officers was from a 6-month tour, right? That didn't mean they got rotated back out of the war, but it did mean that they would get rotated to a different unit. And so a unit would go in together with their new lieutenant who would learn on the ground like they did, and then 6 months later he would get rotated out and a new lieutenant would come in, and fresh out of school, and he would not have the skill set that the troops had, and as a result, those guys tended to make some really bad mistakes.
Oh, there's an interesting thing that happened in World War II.
Generally, only once.
Interesting thing which happened in World War II, which wasn't actually discovered. The truth behind it wasn't actually discovered until after World War II. There was a platoon of American soldiers got mowed down. People thought it was the Germans because it was German weaponry used. It wasn't the Germans, it was the Russians using German weapons.
Yeah,
see, they were starting for a fight even back then.
Yep.
Well, Russians are Russians.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trust them.
Wait, what? I'm part Russian.
We can't trust you, memes.
Yeah, you did. You just gave me one more reason to not trust you.
I'm wondering, like, dude, are you just a freaking You're like, I'm half Jewish, I'm half Russian, I'm half German, I'm half fucking Italian.
Hey,
Well, no,
hold on a minute.
is still valid.
This is interesting. Memes is part Russian. Does that mean Sarah Palin would recognize him?
Maybe if she was from her backyard, don't you know?
Yeah.
Don't you know?
I liked Sarah Palin. Well, I like the fact that she actually challenged like an existing Republican because she didn't like the way things were going on. So the whole grassroots thing was kind of cool. The whole vice president, it's like...
I like the fact that she proved she had less intelligence than a glass of water.
That weren't really too difficult, though. Let's be fair.
No, and yet she's still smarter than Diane Abbott.
That's also not really that difficult now, is it?
Who's still smarter than EOC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair. I can't actually argue that one. All right, you got that one.
If I'm trying to set up a protest, I'm going to hang with AOC. If I'm trying to fight off a bear, I'm going with Sarah Palin.
Sorry, Memes. I think I must have misheard you. Did you say you're going to hang AOC? I like your plan, dude.
No, he said he was going to hang.
We've got to make this happen.
No. Memes said he's going to hang with EOC. So
it sounded like a suicide pact.
Yeah.
When are you planning on assassinating her? Sorry.
No, it's basically Memes has just told us which side he's going to be on come the revolution.
They're both beautiful young women.
No, Memes is just setting himself up to be our spy, so it's all right.
Yeah, and Memes obviously needs a really strong set of glasses.
You realize we got to send them through torture school to just make sure that they're really up to snuff, right?
Oh, can I waterboard them first?
Oh no, I've got a worse one than that. We're gonna get him to be one of the newest presenters on the View.
Oh, dude.
That's actually a pretty good show. I used to watch that with ex-Mrs. Memes.
That's a pretty good show.
Memes? Yeah. Which ex-Mrs. Memes?
The most recent. Yeah, it's the one with Meghan McCain's on it, right?
Meghan McCain is one of the people on it now. That is true.
Well, Joy Behar and stuff too, right?
Joy Blowhard, yeah.
Oh my God, is it The View on crack?
What? Well, no, it's a bunch of gals and they give their takes on things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stay out the bushes.
That's the perfect name for a show. The View on crack. Great. We'll follow AOC around.
No, I would like when they're getting ready. Yeah, when they're still in the green room. Just does the fucking air filtration in the green room with angel dust. Yeah, so it's not going to affect them straight away. It's probably going to get them as they're getting into the show.
So we're going to a rave.
Names for PCP.
Yeah,
it'll basically end up as a homicidal bloodbath.
Is that what's in a Jeffrey?
What?
Hello.
A Jeffrey. Get him to the Greek. Remember, he's like, here, smoke this. What's that? It's a Jeffrey. What is it? Well, it's mostly pot and some of the stuff and things there, and maybe some LSD. Yeah, basically, it's got everything in it.
Okay, PCP on that show would probably be second only for pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Twisted entertainment as it would be, is maybe if you change that for MDMA. But then again, that's just because I'm a sick and twisted person.
Well, potentially he did start to pet a fuzzy wall to make himself feel better.
Yeah, preferably something that is wildly hallucinogenic.
Yeah, I can see that working.
All right, I want to hear the panel's thoughts on this. Okay, so the president of Turkey, he floats the idea of reverting the Hagia Sophia back to a mosque.
Well, he's also the guy who wanted to lower the age of consent in Turkey to 13.
No, okay, that's a big piece of history to begin with. And second, what if the Israelis did something like that to, I don't know, or they want to rebuild the Temple of Solomon? Isn't it kind of the same fucking thing here?
It's their country, do what they want.
How about we trade? They can have the Hagia Sophia. We demolish the Temple of the Rock or whatever the fuck they call it.
The Kabbalah. I think it would be even funnier if we could somehow get a bunch of special forces team into Mecca.
Yeah,
we're not demolishing historic sites.
No, it's even better than that. With engineers, and we don't demolish the Kabbalah, we steal it.
It returned back to God.
No, we're not.
It returned back to
in San Diego with religious artifacts.
Yeah, they wake up in the morning after the sleeping gas, which is being like carpet bombing the city, wears off. The Kabbalah is nowhere to be found.
It has returned to God from whence it came.
No, MC, you and 40, I want to hear both your guys' thoughts on this. Like, seriously, turn the Hagia Sophia back into a mosque or whatever. Isn't that, I don't know, that's overstepping, I think. And I'm not even really religious at all.
That's in Turkey, right?
Yeah, it's in Constantinople.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's in Turkey, and it's the Turkish president on about doing this. It's their country. It's their building.
Fine. Then Israel can rebuild the temple.
Yes. I don't see any problem with that.
Well, hold on.
It's like
but Constantinople isn't in Turkey.
I would have to say
Constantinople is in Turkey. What are you talking about?
No, Constantinople is in the Byzantine Empire.
Constantinople is in Turkey.
Constantinople. What he's doing. Have you not heard the song, MC?
Istanbul is in Turkey. Is what 40 tried.
And I'm saying it's Constantinople, and he has to get used to it.
It's not.
I agree.
No, it's Constantinople, and it's in the Byzantine Empire.
It's Constantinople, and it exists in what they try to call Istanbul.
Yes.
It's Constantinople.
Yes.
It's
I just want to say,
Empire 40. Is that what we're trying to do?
It's Constantinople, and it belongs to the king of the Greeks.
What I want to know is, why did they name a country after a ridiculously ugly bird?
Good question.
Yeah, she is.
Why did we name a ridiculous looking bird after the Turks is the question.
No. MC, you don't realize that Turkey was actually named by a time traveler from the 25th century.
I thought it was almost our national bird.
The turkey was almost our national bird, but not really.
Well, I want to kind of go into Batman's argument here that it is Turkish property, therefore, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, if they try to demolish the freaking... If they try to rebuild the Temple of Solomon, I think it's the Dome of the Rock or whatever the fuck they call it now, the mosque. If they demolish that mosque, the Muslim world is going to fucking explode, and Israel will be at war. Should Israel still do it?
Hey.
Yeah.
They'll all be attacking Israel, and we all know how much the Israelis love a good fight. And let's face it, if the Muslim world attacks Israel, Israel's going to come out on top.
Yeah, until the UN makes them give all their territory back again.
And you know what? They'll turn on to the UN and say, don't you? Same as every other country who the UN demands something of does. Off. The UN has got no power whatsoever.
This is a waste of money and a waste of time.
Yeah.
That is all it is.
The UN sends soldiers into trouble spots, and these soldiers are not allowed to fire.
Just rape
even to defend themselves.
Right, because they're too busy raping.
Yeah.
That's the ones from the certain countries that aren't of the West.
You mean the ones that for the French troops when they went down to the Congo?
Yep.
Well, I don't consider France to be part of the West.
Okay, fair point.
So, what's your thought on that, MC? If Turkey does that, do you think the Christian world's going to explode all around them?
They'll make some comments, but that's about it.
Do you think even the freaking Roman Catholic Church will say a word?
No.
There's more like you're more likely to hear something from actually Putin than you are from the Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of the official, but the head of the Roman Catholic Church in the East, Eastern Orthodox.
Right.
Something.
Orthodox, right?
Because let's face it, the Pope.
Right, and he's in Russia. All right, he's a Russian, and he is actually a good friend of good old Vladimir.
But like we saying, MC, you're not hearing much out of the Pope because these days he's usually in his bedroom, off his face on marijuana, playing his Xbox.
No, he's not.
Probably puts popcorn in his Pope hat.
He's normally freaking on his knees, looking like he's in prayer, yelling for the next altar boy.
Listening to the game on his Wi-Fi.
Or am I being a little too harsh for people?
But I don't know,
you're only accusing the pontiff of pedophilia and stuff. I mean,
I wonder where I got that from.
Well, the historical significance of both sites is very important, and I don't know if the outcry from the Christian world would be anything compared to the Muslim world.
Oh, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be close.
Yeah. Hey, MC, you know why the Catholic clergy, particularly like the cardinals and the bishops, the Catholic bishops and cardinals, wear those long robes?
Are you going back to the pedophile jokes? I'm not really into that.
No, of course not. But you know why they wear those long robes, MC?
Why?
So you can't see the altar boy.
See, like I said, move on. I'm trying to actually discuss this real news story here.
Sorry.
All right.
You're going to tell me that the Pope and the pedophilia in the Catholic Church isn't a real story?
I don't cover shit like that on my channel because I have kids behind me, dude. You could hear kids on my fucking stream. I try not to cover that.
Okay. Oh, honestly, in all fairness, most of us have kind of tuned that out by now.
Yeah.
That's
evil.
It's
not a subject I care to talk about in front of my kids. So
static, you know. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop.
Okay,
but I mean, changing it into a mosque, I think, is blasphemy. But whatever. I guess I'm the only one.
They had made it into a mosque before. They're just returning it back to a mosque. The only reason it's not a mosque now is because they changed it to a designated, tourist site. That's it.
So this possibly means that Turkey is losing tourism because of the terrorism.
Possibly.
And I'll have you know I'm drinking Mountain Dew today. I'm too broke for any beer, so I'm nice and sober.
Now I've got that fucking cutscene from that very horrible game going through my head, where there's got the two fucking characters sitting there playing Dungeons and Dragons, and the monster walks past and goes, "Where's the Mountain Dew?" MC's seen it.
I prefer Sprite.
You would. It's almost as bland as you are.
Ouch. Obey your thirst.
I know 40 likes Fanta because he's a Nazi.
I don't like Fanta. I love Fanta.
Wait. Hold on. So 40. Who loves orange soda? 40 loves orange soda. Is it true? I do. Ooh,
the hell are
oh
you
wait, you're
talking
far
about?
too young for that.
I mean, yeah, I like orange soda.
Oh,
I'm trying to understand. I've never even
it
heard
was
this
from
thing.
all
What are you
that.
talking about? Memes? This must have been a freaking mass hole thing.
No,
Guys,
it was all that on
guys.
Nickelodeon. Kel Mitchell back in the day.
Nickelodeon. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Guys, what the fuck was memes talking about? I am so lost. It's funny.
It's off of
He said,
me.
he said Nickelodeon, and that's all I needed to know.
Jensen memes doesn't know what he's talking about, let alone us.
Okay, so it's not just me then.
No.
Oh
All
no,
right, okay.
no.
Okay.
Many of us were looking at him like, what?
I was trying to pretend he wasn't there, actually.
Well, you're always doing that. So that's nothing new either.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me. And memes, if you want to explain it, go ahead, mate. Honestly, I'm lost.
Oh,
And 40 Sharati's just said that Fanta is the worst.
no. If you're gonna do that, you need the right orange soda.
Okay, I'll keep talking here. That way I don't get copyright. But yeah, go ahead and look at memes' screen real quick. But yeah, I remember that show. I used to watch Nickelodeon as a kid.
Ah, so it was you.
But no, okay, so Italy's I'm gonna butcher this. Salvini wins big in regional election now to change Europe. He's center right, huh?
Yeah.
And he's leading a center left Democratic Party. What? Oh no, he's wrested control of the small southern region from the center left Democratic Party that ran the regional government for nearly a quarter of a century. Shows a picture of him with a gun. That's a plus. I didn't know they had guns in Europe.
This is Italy. I mean, come on. They're still going on with bloody Tommy guns and fire.
They're French made. They're French made.
Oh, that means if he pulls the trigger, all that's going to come out is a white flag with "I surrender" on the end.
It's just a small regional area of Italy, but is that a shift in Italian politics on a whole?
Italian politics. 2 words you probably shouldn't really put together. Let's be honest.
What the heck is Italian politics?
Well, they've been pretty much leftist for quite a while,
I heard there were things called bunga parties involved.
What the hell's up? I don't want to know.
Oh my god, you don't know what bunga party is?
No.
Oh crap. Okay, I'll do it actually a polite way so as I don't say anything.
Okay, I'm going to take this time and we'll make a cup of tea.
Tea break.
Berlusconi.
As you know, Italy's prime minister or president, I don't overly care, was rather sexually promiscuous. Do you know of this?
Okay, I mean, doesn't that basically describe all of them?
Yeah.
No.
Wasn't it one of their freaking?
Okay?
Wasn't one of their freaking porn stars who basically said she'd give a blowjob to whoever voted for so and so in there? Wasn't she like running that kind of a ring going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
they would be considered a
okay.
paladin in comparison to this man. I'm not joking. Okay. No, I know it sounds stupid, but I swear to you, I'm not joking. You just need to understand where he's coming from. Okay. A bunga party was basically whenever he decided he got bored, brought in an entire collection of hoes and a bunch of his crew and basically had an orgy. It got to the point it was given the nickname bunga party, and you could use that term pretty much anywhere in Europe right this second. and the person you're speaking to would probably smile and understand you, no matter what language they spoke. It's that synonymous with the man.
I see.
Yeah. Sodom and Gomorrah would look at him and go, God damn, we didn't do a good enough job. Okay? They would quit because they wasn't in his class.
We've been shamed.
Batman? Batman, am I joking?
I think he went to go get his tea.
Yeah, I was hoping he was back. Ah, shame. Honestly, this man is synonymous with all of the possible corruption you could possibly imagine in an Italian leader.
Oh, he's Mussolini?
Closer to Caligula, but without some of the weird. Okay, no, you seriously, this man ain't right. Okay, and I live with B. That man ain't right. Okay, just so you understand exactly where you're coming from when we're talking about this guy to the British, because we hear so much more and just sit there going, wow.
Huh. Okay. Never mind on Italian politics. All right. Last slide here.
That's what I was trying to warn you.
Yeah, Jordan's King cancels Romania trip over the fact that Romania's prime minister vowed to move her country's embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. So now that President Trump's done this, you're going to see other countries follow suit.
Yep.
Yeah, and poor Jordan's King is all pissy. Got his panties.
Well, he's got to placate the Palestinians, or they'll riot and try and overthrow the government again.
Who are we talking about? Sorry.
The King of Jordan.
Oh, right. That's why. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's twat.
Oh, he is. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I just thinking that exactly sounds so much like cabbage.
We're British. We can be very, very political, or we can be very, very blunt. It's not often that we're in that middle bit.
No, it's just the word twat. I don't think I've heard you say twat before.
Oh, okay. And by the way, well done, MC. You almost pronounced it correctly. I'm actually impressed, mate. No disrespect, sir. Genuine.
None
Some
taken.
people say it in such a way it's actually painful to hear.
All right, what are you going on to next, Mad Dodge? The next story of the day.
Well, no, we're pretty much hitting the 2-hour mark. So, unless one of you guys have something you want to rant about, I think we should wrap it up.
I'm good.
I don't think of anything off the top of my head that I want to go over. I'm sure I'll find something if I really look, but I think I'm done.
I mean, I could bitch about Top Hats and Champagne being taken down and deplatformed, but
what did you find out what happened to him?
He says he hasn't even made any anti-SJW videos in a very long time. He pretty much has been talking about his Kickstarter campaign because he's making a video game. And he doesn't know what got him taken down other than maybe a video from years ago.
Did they didn't tell him or anything? Is he appealing it?
YouTube tell you what you did wrong?
Well, no, I know that's a good point.
They said it was very hateful speech or vulgar or something defamatory like that. It could have been involved with video game content as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be politics.
So yeah, the deplatforming continues. Another good channel, another channel I was subscribed to. Hit bites the dust. Maybe it'll come back. We'll see.
Which one?
Top Hats and Champagne. He's actually pretty funny. He's this Aussie guy.
I see. I've had this great idea. It would solve all of our problems world over. And it would unite the world as one.
Well, no, and another thing that sucks, I wasn't going to go to it or nothing. I don't have the money, but he does a meetup every year where he flies to a different place in the U.S. and meets up with some of his viewers, and they hit up the bar and go have a good time. Like, and he was and yeah, they killed his channel. So.
Seriously, I've had this great idea, solve all of our problems, and it would literally unite the world under one cause. We blame everything on France.
What did France do?
Everything.
Everything.
So we owe them everything.
No, they did everything
bad.
That seems kind of discriminatory.
Yes.
You begin to get the hint.
The English don't like the French. Who would have thunk it?
Who likes the French? Even the French don't like the French.
This is true.
I mean,
reference you to the riot.
It wasn't until the early 20th century when French actually became their national language, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
France has beautiful women and nuclear weapons.
Yes, they're called. Yes, the beautiful women are called tourists. The nuclear weapons are called Americans. Americans, rather.
Supposed to say those nukes are German, technically.
But all right, yeah, no, it's 5 on the West Coast. I think we're gonna wrap it up. We degraded back into we all hate France. So on that note, don't go to France. Good night and good luck.
Don't support the Dodgers.
I like France.